Okay. So this is the scoop third session, and this is the last session. Okay, so we'll cover this scoop third session. This one we will see that scoop with hive import. Okay, we have already seen the hive. Okay, and we want to import the data from MySQL database table to the hive table. So far we have seen that when we are importing data MySQL database, right, to the Hadoop file system. Okay. So this time we are going to load the data from the MySQL database to the directly Hive table. So we can have tables. There are the two cases are there. One is a without partition table, and another one is a partition table. So dynamic partition is not supported in the school, right? But static partition we can load. So suppose you have a two partition column values you have, right? Like here the case is a gender, male and female. So you can give a separate partition value, right? Okay. So, but you have to do two times import. Two times import you have to. So when you are writing a scoop import command for scoop import command you are doing for any data and you are writing data to the hive table. So you have a different options are there. Like you can have a already hive table is there, or you can create a new hive table. Okay, you can specify your database, right, where you want to import your hive table. You want to write the data in hive table. Okay, and you can give the hive table name. So database hive table you can specify your. Okay, so you can specify your hive table. So let's go. I have already this one. I suppose and those scoop one show tables. So here it is not. This MON2. Okay, so if I see ESP, two, okay, and we check the data. I have two rows for the male and two for female. This is my data. So this is same use case. Okay, just I have written some data. So now I'm going to import the data into Hive table. So I'm doing the query, like which query, like dollar condition. So I'm creating the data in the table. date table, hive table. So suppose I give that table name. Testing is my database. So I check and I can take it. Here, this hive. Check, check it from the my DB. So my DB database. So, so I'm fetching the data. So this is my database of the thing. Just import from me. Okay, so minus my step here. So when I say minus hive database, so I have to use minus hive database. So first word has minus and second word with a single hyphen. Audio is not coming. So you are not getting audio. Hello. Hello.
I can hear you.
I can hear you, Arvindji.
Yeah. So here I'm checking actually. So this SSL error comes from use SSL. This is not an error, but you keep it, use SSL false, right? Last time we told, right? All the import you are doing, just use this use as a self. So you will not get this. Still, your import will be not a problem, but this exception will not come. Okay, if you are using use as a self. Case whenever you are running a scoop import, your hive should not be running because it's already have the same database. Metadata is rooted. Okay, so because hive this scoop import command is basically like connecting your hive, starting your metastore DB. So it is not able to start your metastore DB instance because already it is started by the hive tab. Okay, so whenever you are doing any scoop import, so for the hive, especially for the hive, you should exit it. Okay? Otherwise, your this this error will come. Like is already failed to start, right? Metastore DB. Because the metastore DB is same. Whether you are doing with the scoop command, because you are giving the same metastore DB, right? So at any time, only one metastore DB. So another instance of the Derby may have already booted. That is the problem. Okay. So now in this one, actually maybe this directory, the ADIR it has already created. So we have to change this one. So I forgot that. Going fine. But when it is going to load data in Hive, that time issue comes. So you've seen that import is fine. The import is not a problem. Right? But data is loaded into the file system. The next is a two-step process basically. First step is loading data into the Hive import complete done. Right? So it means our Hive import is done. The first step is loading data into the Hadoop file system, and then from Hadoop file system to load into the your table. Okay. Now I check DB is my DB and table name is a Hive part. Hive part. Okay. So this is okay. What is the data in this table? Okay. Now you can see the data only the mail partition data I loaded. Only M I given, right? I give me. So the data is loaded, right? So you seen that based on the condition, it has fetched the data from MON2, this table, only mail data. Okay, gender mail data, it got it and it has loaded into the table with name I part But what is the target DIR? Target DIR is this target DIR, where is the data is stored as the file. Okay. So first initially in the target DIR, it will be loaded data. After that, I will import the data. I will load the data into your table. So if you generally what you do, if you don't use this hive import command, what you will do? You will load the data using sqoop, and then you will use the create table command, and then you will load the data into hive table. Two-step process you will do. But here these two steps are implemented by sqoop hive import. Can you see here? So these are all part file is created. Okay. Maybe one is empty and one, two are, let's see. Because one is empty. This one you can see this one. But other one is having one record, the other one is having one record. Hadoop. So one is having one record, and the second one is 001. Right? If I check this one, oh, this is the empty one. There is no data, and another one too. So here, now I have to load the another set of data, right? Because the female data. So I will do another. So that is the drawback is there in the school. You cannot load the data dynamically as a dynamic partition. You can't do. So if you have multiple partitions are there, those many number of times, you have to do partition. And one more thing is here, when you are running a second time, you can't give this directory. You have to change the directory, because in the same directory you can't keep both the data, because this directory is already exists. When you try this, it will give the error. So I have to change this only, but table is same. Table is same. Okay. But if you do hive override, what it will do? It will override the data, right? Okay. But this is, if you change it partition here, then it is not a problem. Okay. So change the partition according to your condition, change the partition. So gender, you are saying here the partition value F. So it will go to the second partition, but the location of the data will be different. Okay. So now if I run this sqoop info, again I have to exit. Okay. So I told you, whenever you are running any sqoop info command, you have to, otherwise your metastore DB is running. I run mine. And one more thing I will do here that I didn't do this one, use as a self for. Okay. False F capital or small. That was a small. So here I'm going to run. So this is your loading partition data. If you are not loading partition data, entire data you are loading, then it's not a problem. Okay, you don't need to give this conditional thing. You don't need to give this hive partition. This one you don't need to. So this will be removed. Suppose your entire data you want to do. Okay, just take an example. Same example you want to do, but there is no condition. Just simply you say dollar condition you have to give. Dollar condition, you know, right? Any select query, you have to give the dollar condition. Or instead of that, you can use the table clause. There is a username, password, minus table is there, minus table. So instead of that, you can use minus table, and then you can give the table name is the MONT. Right, like this. Okay. So here it is taking entire data. again, no matter what is the gender. So you are removing the partition T1 because we don't want partition. And this one you will change to another location, right? Because this target DIR will be changed. And table will be, because here is the case, the same table. Oh, I have. The table name also same to same. The name is supposed to be completely altogether different table. So here, instead of create table, okay, we are trying to create a hive table and this table is there. So don't use this one. I think we don't need to use. Because create table, it is trying to create a table and table is the same name is there, so it will be the problem. Okay. So that directory is already exists. Okay. You have to change this directory whenever your query is run, whenever your import is run, your directory will be created. Even though your scoop import successful or not successful, but your directory will be created. So this directory you have to change. Because very first it create a directory only. Okay. Then it will go to start import. Okay. So even though your error comes or not comes, it doesn't matter. But your directory will be correct. So till here, if you see import data is loading in the file, it is fine for in the Hadoop file system. But second step process, when it is loading into Hive, that will be the next step. Because it's a two-step process. Yeah. Can you think it is created in the same table? Because I have removed that one. This create Hive table. So first time you can give create Hive table. First time partition import when you are doing for the first partition. Okay. For the first partition, you will keep it create Hive table, and this will be different location. Okay. Because you can't give the same target here. Okay. And after that, when you are giving us, but table name you can use same, because ultimately you have to write the data in the same table, right? Okay. So this is the one example. I will show you. We will have now M or F, both gender data is there. Now let's try this example. This is complete data, no partition I need. So I have removed the partition part. I removed the partition part. But here I want to create a hive table. I want to create a new hive table. But this table is already there. So I will change the name hive part hive. Suppose this table I'm doing. So we will try this one also, then I will show the result in the hive. Again, otherwise I have to come back. Okay. So this problem, what happened? Your target DIR, after that, the slash you have to give. If you're not giving the slash, so it has taken this one and then after this, so that is wrong. Okay. So you want to give, again, you have to change the TB3 you have used. Your command should look like this. If your command is not completely there, so it means you have some issue in your command. Okay, so it should be proper ended with the slash. And if you don't want to give slash, keep it in a one single line. Okay. So we'll verify two tables. One is this hive EMP1 table and another one is a hive part table. Okay. So now we are going to start hive. My hive is me. So I start hive. Okay. So use both the tables are there in which database? Both the tables which we created. This is also MyDB. This is MyDB. Okay. So first we see the complete table without partition one. So let's see this hive EMP1. So this one there is no partition. The entire data in a. So something is the problem happened in the this problem. Here the name is not coming. The name is image. So this is a string type name. But all record are coming. You see, and all the records are coming. The second one we see this hive part table. The hive part table. So first time we loaded only male data. Now we check. So male and female, both the partitions are there. If I do show partitions, because this is a partition status, show partitions and hive underscore part. Okay, so I can see gender female and gender male, two partitions are there. So here you can see this is the partition table data. And this table, if you do the show create table command, so whenever doing sqoop import in the partition table, so it will be which table? It will be a partition table. So if you see here, create table syntax, here is partition by clause. But if you see the other one, so create table, hive EMP1. There is no partition because it's taking the whole data and the number of column also you see here 4 columns are coming because there is no partition column. But the partition one, this gender column has gone into the partition type. That's the difference while create table. So here 3 columns here and 1 column here. Here all 4 columns in. Okay. Okay, so why the name is not coming proper? In this one, the problem came, right? Because I am reading a data. 3 fields are coming properly. Only 1 field is not done. So this is my file location. The data imported. Okay, so let's say Hadoop Express. Can you see one thing here? If I'm using a whole table, right, where is the data gone? Where is the data gone? Data is gone into actual location of the table. Generally, the internal table we create, right? It is creating table, it is creating internal table and loading data into its table folder, idb.db flag I. So the data which I'm going to search here, high part mydb3. The data is not there. So this target dir is no use, right? So when you are not using the partition by table, right, in the scoop, so this target dir no sense. The target dir will automatically go whatever your generally table you have. Okay. So mydb.ivemp1, this is my target dir, right? Target dir automatically, right? This is a warehouse direct. Right? So all the data of 4 record data is gone to the here. Okay. Now we check why the name is not public. So here, this is the one file. Can you see one thing? Here is the data is there. The name, when I do the select query, select star line 5 MP1. Can you tell me where is the problem? Problem is the loading data, importing data using sqoop to the Hadoop file system or loading data from Hadoop file system to Hive. Where is the problem? So what do you understand? Where is the problem? It's a two-step process is done, right? By using sqoop import. So first step is sqoop import. When the data is importing from Hadoop, your MySQL to Hadoop file system, it's coming good. There is no problem. But when it is importing, it is loading data into Hive table, it is not correctly loaded in this column, right? So if I see the schema of this table, name is a string column. The column is good, right? Why it is not loaded data? So 1 comma xyz comma x1 to 1. Do you know what is the value problem?
It is integer type and we are loading as a
Yeah,
string.
correct, correct. The problem is whatever the schema is created, that schema is the wrong sequence of the data. So you know, right, Hive is giving a problem, even if you try separately, because sqoop is doing the same, loading the data, same way, whatever you load manually in the Hive table. So here, if you mismatch your schema and you try to load the data like this file, you will get the same issue because your second column is ID column and your second column value is their name. Okay. So what thing you have to change so that your data will be properly loaded? Okay. Let's see what the sequence we given when we are using table. When you are using table, right? Now the difference will come here. When you're using select query, the proper order will come, right? ID, name, age, and the same order your schema will be created. So here, what happened? You give in the table. if you see your MySQL table, what is the column order? If you go to the MySQL column order is ID, name, age, gender. Okay. Okay. ID, name, age, gender. And what is their hive? So it's taking a random way. Okay. If I do one thing, instead of this one, I try another one and I say I use this way. So you will come to know which one is a better option to importing data, right? Whether minus minus table is a good option or this one is a good option. Because this issue is coming when you are using minus minus table, right? Now let's try. So here I keep it a name and I don't want to give the condition. So what is the order here? The hive table. Okay, let's try. It is following our sequence or it creates. If I'm giving like this, while creating a table also, it should follow the same pattern. Okay. And the same pattern, it should write the data. In the same pattern, it should load the data into hive table. So here I'm just changing this table to, okay, and I'm changing the location. So otherwise I could say 100 years. Or this one is not needed because it is no fun. It's saying, okay, target DIR cannot remove, even though it is not used, but target DIR. So better is you can give the same target DIR, whatever your table running. Okay. Target DIR is mandatory, they are saying, but they don't create this. So hive import is successfully done, but our main issue was to check that the data is imported properly, all products. So we will check first the file location, how the data looks like. First, data. It will come from it. What is it? It's the same order is taking whatever is mine, ID, age, name, and gender, right? So this time it's a proper sequence in proper column and proper value. Okay. And last time what happened? One column, which is a string column, that will give you the value because string column can accept anything. So the name column is taking your age and integer column is becoming null, right? because name column can accept anything because it's a string column and a string can accept anything, but integer column cannot accept. That is the reason it becomes null. Okay, but both columns are wrong except the first and last. The data is except the last column. These three columns start with but here we see whatever the sequence. So which one is the right approach through the query, through the query use. So whatever query sequence you take, it same sequence your table will be. And even in the file also, the same sequence the data will be loaded. So if we check in the but why it is creating so many patterns? Because I'm not using the, can anyone tell? I have not given n parameter, right? Right? But still it is creating so many multiple files. So why it is creating? There is no option, right? There is no option in the sqoop import command for mappers, right? Number of mappers. But why it is creating 4? Why it is creating 4? The data is coming properly, right? ID is first, age is second, name is 3, and gender is 6. So nobody able to guess it? Okay, can anyone tell like what is the default number of mapper? If I don't specify, so what is the default mapper in this case? Default mappers. 4. 4 is a default mapper. That is the reason these 4 are coming. Okay. So default mappers are 4 if you don't specify. So here is no option to specify. Okay. We can do, but we have to check the option. Is it possible or not possible? We have to check because in the sqoop import command, you cannot do as much as things you can provide into the hive table. For importing data Hadoop file system, you have various options are there. So even this is a simple sqoop import command. If I put it -m1, can it work it? Because I mean right now it took it 4, right? If I say I this direct item, I say -m1, right? Because I don't want to create a multiple file. Okay. I change. So because 1 record is coming 115, so that's not a point, right? Because 1 record 115. I want to get all the data. So if I'm not giving any number of mappers, it will taken as a default. have to check the data. This one is the same. I have then the select query data will be the same on 4 record. Okay, but we have to verify the location. How many number of files are Can you tell me how many files are there? Part file. One file. This one file has all 4. Okay. Okay, so one thing is left, that is export. Okay, so these are the different variations. Okay, so I'm just keeping it this command first because this command is the complete data in a one table. Okay, these are not partition back, but these are the variations. These are the variations one. These are these variations. So are the partition one. First one is okay. I table non-partition. Non-partition. So this one is important. Minus static partition. Okay, non-same memory because dynamic is not supported. You want to do dynamic partition, so you load the data, all data you load in the one table, and then you create manually the dynamic partition you already know. That way you should remember, right? The first time you can give the create table command. Even I think table it will create. If you don't give this one also, it will create table. So it will try this out. Okay. So this one I will give you. And the one thing is there, that is the explore command. Like suppose you have a data in Hadoop file system or Hive table, and you want to create a table in my system. So it is a reverse of what you are doing so far. Okay. So if I have a some file and I want to create a table out of that in my system. So you have to use export command and export dir command where your file is located. Okay, suppose this is your file. This file you are creating some location. Create a file. Creating a table. Table. This table is no data. This location I have to change because my location is in the this is Hadoop location because I cannot read the data from the local. I have to give the export dir is a Hadoop dir. So whenever you have a data, you upload to the Hadoop file system. I will check some directory where I can load the data. Highly the emptxt, emptxt will I will take a location, workshop slash empty.txt. Which database I created? Sqoop one. So I'm in the current database. How can I come to know what is the problem? I have got this application ID. This application ID, I can check it. So, so I have to open the resource manager. So there I can check the log. Localhost 8088. So I'm getting here, error here, like number format exception, info to string PHP there. So ID name definition, name is 20 characters, definition 20 salary. What is in the data? I check the data. What so here it is saying the error on the PHP database. And this is my definition column. And salary is my fourth column. And the profit level not column. Why it is using this parse data? The data is correct and here the length is correct 20. If I calculate this, problem is not in this. Problem is coming in this definition column. Here, next is the definition column, third column. This is the could be a space. I think the problem here. It could be maybe some other mistake. Now I remove all the spaces. I can make you edit that place. Might put it my mistake. Made on my screen. Last thing to the run. Same type of block. Instead of increasing the log in another job, I refresh it. I will get the enemy. I check the log. I remove all the spaces. But still it's saying number format is saying so here is no space. We are taking it yes. But still this is can't pass time. But this is not a problem of the okay. You guys check this one if you can find out because this is I fix it, I remember how. Maybe in the data we need to something. The data or we have to give the double quote data. So instead of giving like string data, we should give as a double quote data. So let's try that one. So string data, we should give in the double quote. You guys can also try if you can find solution. But something is there. Something is there. Export fail. Okay, so I will upload this one. Just a simple export command you try. In fact, or some ready-made example you can see. So this will explore. I think page communicated by comma, lines communicated by page communicated by. So whatever our scoop export command, we add this. First we add in communicated by the problem is coming in the field. Okay, try this one. I'll see that. Okay, support this. Yeah, see you tomorrow.